Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So I have an updated video for my makeup collection by year. This was a video that I did last January and I thought it would just be a one-time thing, but I decided I wanted to do an update, and I think it's something that I will want to do every year because I think it's good to see, how much stuff have I added to my makeup collection in the past year, and then for the previous years, how much stuff do I actually have left, so I can kind of keep track of how old my makeup's getting and what I'm adding and what I'm able to use up like in a year's time. So I do my other makeup inventories by category, which I think is really valuable for me to keep track of how much stuff I have in each specific category, but I also think it's good to keep track of how much stuff I have in terms of like every year and how old my stuff is. So I'll do an update. I will attach my original video below if you kind of want to compare of what I had a year ago versus now, but I will go over each category by year. So starting off with 2017, I have 46 items, which is a lot. My kind of like theme of last year was I just wanted to try a lot of stuff. So I did get a lot of deluxe sample like sets. So I got a set of the Dr. Jart BB creams versus just getting one. I got a set of like 4 deluxe sizes. I got a few of the Sephora Favorites kits. I got one that was a primer set, so I ended up with a lot of primers and setting sprays. I got one of the Lash Stash to Go for mascara. So that was kind of why I ended up with so much stuff. I also got one of the Fresh Sugar lip treatment sets of the little deluxe sizes for Christmas. So not a ton of full-size things, a lot of deluxe stuff, which hopefully will be easier to use up, but it does add to my numbers. So that is for 2017. I am hopeful like in a year's time that a lot of this stuff I will have finished off by the end of the year, but it is adding stuff to my collection, and in terms of numbers it's a lot. And really looking at it, this is good, especially at the beginning of the year, because it makes me see, especially for 2018, that I really don't need to purchase anything. Like really for 2018, I want my kind of focus to be just buying stuff as I use up like a certain category of items. So like for primer, I really don't need to buy a primer this year. I'm really good on my lip products, my foundation, my BB creams. I really don't need to add anything. So I'm really hopeful that when I have this video in a year that a lot of this stuff will be used up and I won't have a ton of stuff that I've added for 2018. But that's 2017. And then revisiting my prior years. So for 2016, I currently have 12 items. Last year at this time I had 18. So I was able to go through 6 of the items, which is good. A lot of this stuff is lip items that I'm still trying to work through. I think 2 of these I'm trying to use up this year, so hopefully this year will slowly get smaller and smaller, but I don't feel like too overwhelmed by the stuff from 2016. Not a ton of stuff. The next year is 2015. Now I had a ton of stuff from 2015. Last year I had 36 items this year, and I've cut that in half and I currently have 18. So I'm really happy with that. And then a few of these items, my Mally liner and the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, I'm almost finished with. And then a few of these I'm trying to use up this year. So I had a lot of stuff in 2015 that I added to my collection, but I've been able to work through a lot of it. So really happy with that. So currently I have 18 items for 2015. For 2014, this is the best year. I don't know if I just didn't buy a lot this year or if I was able to use up a lot of this stuff, but currently for 2014, I have 2 items, and both of these are things that I'm trying to use up this year. Previously, last year I had 5, so I was able to even work through some of that stuff. So really happy with 2014. Then for 2013, I currently have 11 items. Last year at this time I had 13, so I was able to work through 2 of the items. And this is sort of the year that I feel like for this year that I need to either use up these items or declutter them, with the exception of the eyeshadow palette. I just tend to keep eyeshadow palettes longer than like other sort of stuff. But a lot of this stuff I'm trying to use up this year, or either, you know, maybe declutter by the end of the year. But currently have 11 items. Hopeful that that number will be down a lot by next year. Next is my 2012 items. So last year I had 6. I am down to 3. My Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, that's a palette that I was really working on in 2017. I still want to work on a few of the shades this year. I have my Trina Tarantino blush palette. That's something I don't really use, but I really have a hard time kind of letting go of palettes. So I think that one will kind of just stay in my collection, but not really used. And then I have a single, it's a Stila eyeshadow from, I think, the Rockin' in Rio little eyeshadow palette. The ones they have, like the Destination little cardboard palettes, I just have like one shadow, like a brow bone highlight type of matte cream shade. So I have 3 things from 2012. Hopefully I can get a lot more use out of my Naked 2 palette, maybe use up that eyeshadow, and that year will be lessened by a year from now. Then for 2011, I have 1 item. It's just my Urban Decay 15th anniversary palette. I had 1 item last year as well. Again, it's really hard for me to part with eyeshadow palettes, especially my Urban Decay. A lot of my first makeup that I purchased, or first like high-end makeup that I purchased, was Urban Decay, so it's really sentimental to me. So I still have that item from 2011. 2010, I have my Naked palette. One of the shades Smog I did move to my Naked 2 palette because I tend to use that palette more. And then last year I was able to use up 4 of the shades from this palette. So at this point I don't really use this palette that much, but again, it's something that's sentimental to me, so I kind of keep it for that reason, even though I'm not really using it a ton. So that's for 2010, just 1 item. And then the final item is a little Urban Decay eyeshadow in Smog. It's in the previous eyeshadow packaging, and I just remember being really drawn to this packaging when I was first kind of getting into makeup. So I'm not even sure what year this is from. It's pre-2010, but I probably will never declutter that eyeshadow. It's just very sentimental to me. So yeah, that is everything. I just think it was kind of interesting to kind of revisit this video, so just so I can kind of see like how old is my stuff, what do I need to sort of focus on and actually use up this year. It's kind of helpful with that and helps me kind of see, you know, what possibly I would need to declutter from my collection. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link the original video down below, as I said, like if you want to kind of compare year over year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.